Everybody's trying to figure out what's going on with Drake right now. This whole lawsuit thing is very weird. Feels like he's kinda losing his mind. For a guy who built his career in what seems to be such a strategic, thoughtful way, this is the first time it really seems like he's kinda losing control of what's going on. Very strange. I think to understand what's happening, you really gotta think about where Drake is in his career and how strange it is. You gotta think just how long he's been around. I mean, mainstream rappers can be broken basically into two categories. There are new artists, and then there's legacy artists. New artist means you put out an album and everybody wants to hear it. They want to hear your new stuff. These days, that means the second your album drops, everybody's live streaming their reactions and making their little videos, and it's kind of a topic of discussion. Legacy artists were new artists at some point, and now they're writing off their legacy. They put out a new project, no one really wants to hear it. But they do a live show, everybody shows up because they want to hear the hits. And it's not a bad thing to be a legacy artist. That's kind of the goal in terms of longevity. 50 Cent is a legacy artist. You go see 50 Cent live, you're not hoping to hear the new stuff. You want to hear the hits. And the hits were a long time ago. Drake has been around for a long time, but he's still a new artist. When he puts out a project, everybody's talking about it. It's a big deal. He still has the pressure to make new hit records. And up till now, he's basically succeeded in that. But you got to think how long he's been around in terms of just the years. First big Drake mixtape was 2009, So Far Gone. So it's been over 15 years that he's been at this level. 15 years of being the guy. Nobody's ever had this kind of run in rap music. You gotta think 15 years is when rappers at that level start to go crazy. You're not supposed to be that famous for that long. Think Kanye West. First album, College Dropout, 2004. By 2019, Kanye West is living in Wyoming doing gospel music. And that was really when he went off the rails and had to be hospitalized, when he gets divorced and then he kind of loses his mind. Eminem, first album 1999, I think, maybe 98. Within 10 years, he is going to rehab and he's on pills, and then he comes back and he's yelling. Jay-Z was very famous for a long time, but even Jay-Z, you gotta think, he went away for a while. He was supposed to retire with the Black Album, and then he kind of went away. A few years later, he comes back. And even in that stretch, there were some duds. There were some albums, there were no big hits. And then eventually he kind of moved on to being, a business guy. Now he's running a sports agency or something. Think the closest analog to Drake in terms of where he positions himself culturally is probably LL Cool J. You gotta think LL Cool J, he was young when he came out. First LL Cool J single, I Need a Beat, was 1984 on Def Jam. 1984. By 1999, LL Cool J is doing Deep Blue Sea, where he's rapping like he's a shark. Remember that? Drake suing his record label is basically LL Cool J underwater pretending to be a shark. It's this has gone on long enough. You need to take a break. I mean, it's kind of you ever played Tetris for too long? If you play Tetris for long enough, eventually the game kind of breaks and it just stops working. It does that because you were supposed to lose a long time ago. And somehow you just stuck around long enough that it's we don't know what else to throw at you. That's where Drake is at right now. It's no, you need to hang it up.